Straight ahead on CitySpan, questions about your water bill? We'll have some answers. The arena project is heating up with many decisions to be made. We'll lay out the facts and what's next in the process. No shortage of progress on Savannah's streets. The scissors have been busy, recognizing neighborhood improvements. Sure, it's a dirty job, but now it's colorful, with a purpose. This fifth-generation Savannian joins his father in the Hall of Fame. Those stories and much more next on CitySpan, your source for news, information, and entertainment in Savannah. Thanks for joining us here on CitySpan. We have a great show lined up, which includes news, updates, entertainment, education, and a little bit of sports. We're going to start with the hot topic. Savannah is slowly implementing a full-service online utilities billing and payment system. The city is nearly complete with a full overhaul of its outdated computerized system, which now includes online billing, payment, and detailed information. Now, bills have been gradually coming out, and the final batch has been dispersed. The city has a plan in place and is making solid progress.
Billing water for 75,000 or so people, it takes a while to get everything converted, get it converted correctly. It's providing a lot of opportunities for the city as well as for the customers as well. They'll notice when they get their new bills that they'll see a bill that shows a graph of their usage, so they can compare usage over time, so they can understand if this bill is really high or not.
Landolt adds, if anyone has any questions regarding their bill or the system in place, contact the Water Department, 651-6465, or there's plenty of information on our website at savannahga.gov. Another hot topic is the arena project. SPLOST dollars are available to build an arena to replace the portion of the Civic Center. But are there enough, and where will it go?
We feel that this is a building, a site, and a project that is a feasible project at its current location.
The Canal District will extend downtown Savannah in an area that's been dormant for a long time. The location has superior traffic connectivity, is a third of a mile from the historic district, has the potential of serving as an economic catalyst, and the city owns all the property needed.
The arena has always been a part of that west side redevelopment, along with retail, along with residential, along with office space.
As the community grows towards that direction, that connectivity gets better. But that is an issue in terms of walkability currently.
I want to see the plan of how we're going to take it forward. I don't want to build this thing out in the middle of nowhere without a plan to develop it.
But we need to see what that plan is and what kind of cost we're talking about there before we can make a realistic decision about the rest of it.
We do not have the money. We can all sit here and talk about spending all this money, but we don't have the money, and I'm not going to create a debt to get there.
The study concluded the old Martin Luther King Jr. Arena at the Civic Center is outdated and cost prohibitive to continue running. The land, however, sits on some of the most desirable real estate in Savannah.
We've seen your vision of the Canal District. Do we have any cost estimates on what it would take to develop that? Because we already know what this is going to cost.
With that development, the arena has kind of always been considered to be the anchor project of that. So until we finalize what we're going to do, where we're moving forward, we haven't gotten any additional cost estimates.
Beyond that, we spent 2.4, 2.5, something like that, $1 million already in land acquisition from SPLOST funds to be used for this project. The rule is, if we don't use it for what we say we're going to use it for, we have to pay that $2.4 million back. So we already got skin in the game, significant skin in the game.
First, I think we need to know that that's the right location for the arena. I know it's the location we want it to be at, but is it the right location for where the arena needs to go?
We think that this project can offer quality of life benefits in terms of attracting regional and national events and bringing entertainment alternatives to the marketplace.
Before making a decision, Council wants more details and cost estimates on developing the Canal District beyond the arena footprint. as well as developing an arena on the current Civic Center site. The city expects to move forward with that study in the coming weeks. Over at the Police Officer Memorial Statue on Oglethorpe Avenue, SCMPD, local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies paid tribute to the officers from our community who made the ultimate sacrifice. Since 1868, 52 officers from Chatham County have been killed in the line of duty. Hundreds attended the memorial.
1969, Dennis E. Worthington.
The memory of our loved ones will never leave our hearts, even as they have departed from us. They will always be remembered by this community that they served so well.
1984, Ronald E. O'Neill, Georgia State Patrol.
For these men and women, remembered today, made their individual and collective sacrifices in honor of duty and service to their fellow citizens.
These people we honor today were ordinary people doing extraordinary things, doing their incredible different situations. These men and women who faced with evil did something that most do not do. They run to trouble, they don't run away from it.
1989, Mark A. McPhail, Sr., Savannah Police Department. (2015) William M. Solomon, Georgia Ports Authority Police.
May we always cover with pride the shield we wear to honor all our fallen officers, whom we commend to you this day.
God bless our Savannah-Chatham County, the great state of Georgia, and as always, God bless America.
You can catch the full ceremony on our City of Savannah YouTube page. Our police force continues to work toward full strength. In fact, SCMPD is just about there after welcoming in a new batch of officers.
Faithfully discharge all the duties which may be required of me, in all cases.
22 new police officers sworn in, ready to take to the streets of Savannah. The department is closing in on being fully staffed for the first time in a long time. Along with the new officers, 6 promotees were honored, but the message from the day's speakers clearly for the graduates.
We are never safe until we have a perception of being safe. And with the addition of these officers, I feel a whole lot better today than I did yesterday.
You are the future of the Savannah-Chatham Metropolitan Police Department. You have great leadership with the guys on your right, my left. They're going to show you the way.
We'll check in with our fire department coming up soon on City Span. Plus, Savannah's celebrating 50 years. We'll bring you the historical details. Savannah is buckling down on dirt. Sanitation doing its part to brighten up our city. And he's a 5th-generation Savannian, and he joins his pops in the Hall of Fame. City Span returns right after this. Welcome back to City Span. Remember, you can catch us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search City of Savannah. Savannah Fire and Emergency Services welcomed nearly 24 new firefighters to the department in May. After more than 3 months of training, the new firefighters had little time to celebrate before reporting to their new assignments. Mark Keller has this report.
I do further swear. That as a firefighter.
14 weeks of classroom and practical training culminated with a graduation ceremony for members of Savannah Fire's recruit class 2016-01. Instantly, the recruits became firefighters with national certifications and a basis for understanding what the firefighting profession entails. But as Fire Chief Charles Middleton told them, this was just the end of the first phase. The real work toward building a career lies ahead of them. New firefighter Mark Ducray is excited to get started.
I love Savannah, for one, and I love people, for number two. And I know me, I have a big heart, so I'm just so energized right now. I'm so motivated just to get on the floor and start working and prove what I have right now, because I have great instructors who motivate me throughout the whole training.
It was a long journey for the diverse class of recruits, both time-wise and geographically for some. Ariel Fisher is from California. He earned the Class Academic Achievement Award.
It's a long process. Just applying for the department and getting through the interviews and tests is 8-9 months. And I had to wait till about 3 weeks before the academy started. Finally got my call right before Christmas time, so that was nice. And then last 15 weeks, it's been a lot of fun. It's a really good training. I respect our instructors incredibly. They're very, very good. I have every confidence that they've prepared us for the floor.
William Fulton received special recognition with the Instructor's Choice Award, and Tyler Hall was selected by his peers for the Class Choice Award, both recognizing leadership and dedication during the academy training. 15 of these firefighters are filling new positions within the department that were made possible through a Homeland Security FEMA grant. For CitySpan, I'm Mark Keller.
Thanks a lot, Mark. We appreciate it. So what was buzzing on our social media? How about what's heating up as the temperatures rise? Our internet guru Saja Hours is once again tangled in the city's web.
From summer camp to swimming lessons, the city offers tons of activities to beat the heat and enjoy your summer to the fullest. So we took to Facebook to ask, what's your favorite summer activity in Savannah? Christy said Forsyth Park, hanging out on the playground, dodgeball with the family, kickball with my friends, volleyball, rollerblading, hopscotch, and yoga on the green grass. Lily chimed in with another whole list of great ideas, suggesting the maypole, hula hooping, playing dodgeball, jumping rope, bike race, playing jackstones, shooting marbles, and roller skating. And Laura kept it simple, just saying Tybee Beach as much as we can. Thanks to everyone for liking, sharing, and commenting on our post. To keep up with city news and information, find us on Facebook, facebook.com/City of Savannah, and on Twitter @City of Savannah. Tangled in Savannah's web, I'm Saja Hours.
Today is a happy day for us at the city as we celebrate the completion of a multi-year project to document and preserve the unique history of this structure. A structure that has fascinated citizens and visitors alike, and one that has been somewhat shrouded by mystery.
The cause for celebration, the unveiling of new interpretive panels that tell the unique story of the Cluskey Embankment Stores, or Cluskey Vaults, from their beginning to the findings of a recent archaeology project.
It is a wonderful example of collaboration across many city departments and bureaus and across our community, bringing together all of our talents to preserve a special site for future generations and share its unique story with our citizens and with our visitors.
In 2011, the Shinhoster Youth Leadership Group began a project to learn more about the vaults. Based on their findings, they recommended eliminating parking in the vaults, historical research, and an archaeological investigation to learn more about how the vaults were used over time.
I just want to say that it is a great honor to have done this, because today you don't see a lot of African American males who come out and are concerned about their future and also concerned about their surroundings as well.
Based on their recommendations, the city partnered with Georgia Southern University to do an archaeological investigation, including historical research, on-site excavation, and curation of more than 6,700 artifacts recovered. The Shinhoster Youth Leadership Group remained involved throughout the project.
This project shows the power of our youth to step forward and make a difference in their community.
You can learn much more about the Cluskey Embankment Stores, one of the oldest historical structures owned by the city, by stopping by the Drayton Street ramp to the east of City Hall and checking out the newly unveiled signs. You can also get more information by contacting the city's Research Library and Archives. That number is 651-6412.
This is our efforts to beautify and rehabilitate, and that's what we intend to do.
Alderman John Hall proudly unveiling the new sign in the Fernwood neighborhood. Residents, including former Mayor Edna Jackson, on hand to take part in the event.
This is another great example as to how the district alderman works very closely with neighborhood residents to really make a difference in our neighborhoods.
Neighborhood vitality at its best in the Liberty City community. Some 2,700 feet of new sidewalk laid down and complete. It's a SPLOST project that came in just under $80,000. Community leaders and Savannah City Manager Stephanie Cutter joining Alderman Estella Shabazz for the ribbon cutting.
The new sidewalks are with ADA ramps. It allows our citizens and pedestrians a safer walk path to travel through two of our busiest intersections in this community, on Liberty Parkway and Millsby Lane.
Specifically, this ties Liberty City and Ogeechee Road with a much safer environment. Criminal and trashy. That's what you'll see in big letters across our city garbage trucks. An initiative that's been in the works for more than a year and a half is now in full force. The goal is to raise awareness through advertising and social media and to increase enforcement of littering, which could result in up to $1,000 fine.
It costs us over $1 million a year just to pick up garbage and debris that's improperly handled. So it's a drain on community resources, and we're very fortunate. We've developed a public-private partnership.
We live in America's most beautiful city. I think a lot of us believe that. But the problem is we have a litter problem. And cleaning up litter elevates the city, but more importantly, it reduces crime. So we think that Savannah should be America's cleanest and most beautiful city. And our initiative is to reduce the litter in our town by 50% in a year.
In addition to the City of Savannah and Parkers, the Savannah Morning News, Kinder Morgan, and Kennekel have joined the force to keep Savannah beautiful. Each month on CitySpan, we team up with the folks at Bank on Savannah and initiative of Step Up Savannah to bring you easy tips to help you make the most of your hard-earned money. With more, here's Richard Reed.
Have you started saving for retirement? Retirement is the one thing you can't borrow to do. For people without access to an employer-sponsored retirement savings plan, like a 401k, there's a new way to start saving for your future. It's called MyRA. MyRA could be a good option if you have not started saving for retirement, because you don't have access to a retirement savings plan through your work. You worry about losing money. You find the cost of a retirement savings account is too high, or you get overwhelmed by complicated investment options. MyRA is a simple, safe, and affordable way to start saving for retirement. It's a starter account that puts your money in a U.S. Treasury bond that will not lose money. MyRA accounts are free to open and have no fees. You can contribute $2, $20, or $200 a month, whatever fits your budget. To open a MyRA account, you must have earned income, such as a salary or wages in the United States. You are generally eligible to contribute to a MyRA if you make below $131,000 if single, head of household, or married filing separately, or $193,000 if you're married filing jointly. Do yourself a favor and begin saving for retirement today. The MyRA account is an easy way to get started. You can find out more information or sign up for an account by going to www.myra.gov. Until next time, I'm Richard Reed, and you can bank on this.
Still much more to come. Skeetus is the name to know on the local golf scene. Now he's got his plaque in the Savannah Civic Center. Plus, the Victorian District takes center stage. And straight ahead, local business in Savannah is booming. We'll have the proof. Welcome back to the stretch run of City Span. Small business plays an integral role in Savannah's economy. In May, the Service Corps of Retired Executives, or SCORE, held what is now an annual event to recognize the movers and shakers of small business.
I have been the president of Tidewater Landscape Management, and I have cleaned the latrine at the same time. It's okay because I'm a small businessman. I can do anything.
Speaking from experience in front of more than 200 small business owners, Mayor Eddie Deloche front and center on the importance of small business in and around Savannah.
It's just an economic engine right there that's always moving and changing. So we want to thank them at least once a year to let them know that, hey, we know who you are, we know you're there.
They are nearly everywhere. Small business makes up a huge percentage of our local pool.
Over 5,300 businesses who submitted information state they have 10 or fewer employees. Obviously, these are small businesses. That's about 76% of all the businesses that report in the city.
The impact they have on the other businesses around them by buying goods, using those facilities, buying fuel, doing these different things, that's what makes our economy churn.
2015 was a record year for permitting building construction activity,
which is one of the driving forces for any community. Christy Lawrence breaks it down for us. $404 million in construction costs for all the permits issued.
This data shows that our local economy remains steady and strong, and that dollars are being spent on new buildings and new facilities, which is great for our local economy and for small business.
Over 1,000 new businesses filed business tax returns for the first time in 2015. We had about 45% of our businesses that are reporting indicate gross receipts of less than $100,000. This is up from last year by about 7%.
You can never get enough information if you're a small business guy because you haven't got time to find it. You need that assistance from SCORE and these small businesses around you because a lot of the information you find is whenever you form relationships with those other small businesses.
While they're not there yet, a West Side Savannah neighborhood is one step closer to inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places. Carver Village was built in 1947 as one of the first places in Savannah where working-class African Americans could purchase a home. Many military personnel, as well as workers at Union Bag, Coastal Chemical, Port City Steel, and Savannah Electric lived in the neighborhood, which included 600 homes and 2 parks.
As I look out upon the audience, I see a great reflection of history. I also see a great reflection of love and commitment to neighborhood.
And we tell you and affirm to you that this community, this neighborhood is important and is a proud part of our history.
And it's home because of the people that are here. It's not home because of the houses or the development or anything else. It's the special relationships that we have with one another in these communities.
After working with the Neighborhood Association for the past 3 years to document the historic resources of Carver Village, the city and the MPC have completed its submission to the Georgia Department of Natural Resources for inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places. The state will review the application in August.
And so today we celebrate the richness of the history of Carver Village. And I just want you to know it's a good day in the neighborhood.
It's a ribbon cutting on the 50th anniversary of the National Historic Preservation Act, which has helped bring a unique look and feel to Savannah. The National Historic Landmark Program is an integral part of downtown and beyond. It's also the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service, the administrators of the Landmark Program.
What you see around here today does not reflect what it looked like in 1966 through 1973. Savannah was a ghost town.
But I think we're taking an appropriate time out to take a victory lap to assess what we have accomplished in the last 50 years, 60 years, and then some, but also look ahead, because preservation isn't about looking backward, it's about looking forward.
And our future is entwined with your future. These places such as this that are important to you locally, they're important to the country nationally. So we definitely want to continue to partner with you.
One of our National Historic Neighborhoods, the Victorian District, which boasts some incredible architecture. Well, some say it's the city's first suburb. It starts at Forsyth Park and heads south for about a mile. Ellen Harris takes us to My Historic District.
Hi, I'm Ellen Harris for My Historic District. Architecturally, Savannah's Victorian District is one of the most unique around. An area of 150 acres, it's known as Savannah's first suburb.
But this neighborhood started out as private growth outside of the city commons.
Hugh Golson has called Duffy Street home for almost 30 years. His fully restored, elegant home wasn't typical of the neighborhood's earliest structures.
The first people out here, they lived in simple cabins. Most lots were divided into two cabins. One would face the street, one would face the alley. Even if you look at the 1880 Sanborn maps, you still see lots of cabins covering the lot.
You also see huge trees throughout the Victorian District, well over 100 years old.
Most of these larger trees were planted here for the original development. They are now reaching the end of their peak, but the city did plant through here. Most of these were dirt streets for a number of years. And of course, streetcars whizzed through here. Streetcars ran down Whitaker Street. They did turn here on Duffy and headed east for a while. So that too was a good part of neighborhood expansion. People could grab the streetcars, make it to work downtown, and they wouldn't be hot and sweaty from walking all the way to work or riding a horse or whatever else had been the older convenience.
There were many amenities in the Victorian District, including sprawling Forsyth Park on the north side.
And the southern end of Forsyth Park has been used for many things, such as a barbecue, celebrating the return of the doughboys from World War I.
The neighborhood stretches to Anderson Lane on the south.
Also in the neighborhood, the Henry Street School by G.L. Norman, and also additions by Alfred Eichberg, the western and eastern wings.
Its location so close to downtown made it a bustling suburb.
When the neighborhood was first founded, this was a neighborhood of corner stores. That is something that the German community brought to Savannah, is their knowledge of ledger books and running accounts. And of course, they came in with all the corner stores. Bull Street, of course, was a very significant corridor, but it will be developed and redeveloped over time.
And like all neighborhoods, the Victorian District has changed. Some, like Hugh Golson, have strived to keep the uniqueness from the late 1800s still visible.
This neighborhood, through its National Register status, does offer it with some state tax credits and other things can be built upon that. And it's something to be proud of.
Since 1974, the Victorian District has been listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The city's first suburb, to many it's the most unique of all my historic districts. I'm Ellen Harris.
Each May, Savannah's Civic Center gets a handful or so of new plaques commemorating some of our city's all-time best sportsmen. You see, the famed wall at the Savannah Civic Center is home to the Greater Savannah Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, it's a great thing for the community. I mean, you come up here, you come to an event, you come up here and you find lots of folks you know and you didn't know they're in the Hall of Fame.
Which now includes golfer Johnny Skeetus II, a fifth-generation Savannian.
I'm humbled by it all. I remember when my father got in 1973 like it was yesterday. I was 13 years old.
The late senior Johnny Skeetus, also one of Savannah's all-time great golfers. Hard to believe, 43 years ago. He entered the Hall of Fame, but not for his achievements on the golf course.
That's right. He's actually in the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame. And but he was actually a better rifle shot than he was a golfer. He was captain of Georgia's rifle team. He was probably the best in the world at one time.
Oh, I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, I remember coming to the Civic Center as a kid and going to the circus, and Dad would always bring me up here to look at his dad, so it's really special it's coming up. I'm really proud of Dad, obviously, so it's just really special for him, and I know his dad would be proud of him, too.
The Skeetus is making a name for themselves at another City of Savannah facility, Bacon Park Golf Course, slowly returning to the place where local prestige once shined.
Back to like it was before, where you better get a tee time or you're not going to get to play. And as that relates to Johnny Skeetus here, he grew up playing out there, and won the City Am many times, and he's such not just a great golfer, he's just a great person. So I think he's very happy to see the Muni come back to its glory days again.
I was asked what's my biggest feat in golf, and I said winning my first City Amateur, even trumped playing in the U.S. Senior Open, because when I was a little boy, that was the defining tournament. If you won the City Amateur, you were a player, you had what it took, you made your mark, and it was bigger in many respects than the State Amateur. So my whole life, I really wanted to win the City Amateur, and then to win 3, I'm like, wow, you know, it's almost enough. Greatest Athletic Hall of Fame continues to grow. I think it's just wonderful for Savannah, and I see people come here, and I'm so proud when I go places to play golf, and they say, where are you from? And I proudly say, Savannah, Georgia.
Great story on Johnny Skeety's great man, too, as well, representing Savannah, playing in golf tournaments all around. That definitely is going to do it for this edition of City Span. Now, don't forget, for the latest news and information about the City of Savannah, keep it tuned to SGTV. Visit our website, savannahga.gov, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you very much for joining, and thanks for making Savannah your home.